So this August 1st, the Supreme Court has come out with a judgment that subclassification has to be given. It is constitutionally approved, and legally also it is binding.
Yes.
And then it also says that they talk about creamy layer as an optional.
Yeah.
One of the reasons they say is too many population is there and very few seats are there. So it's important that some people give up and others join. So
Yes.
anyway, this has received multiple reactions. Multiple, I would say that's only two reactions. One is opposing and one is supporting. So
Absolutely.
how do you see it and what is happening in the north and what is your opinion?
Yeah. Let me first, tell you about what I think about this issue. And uh, it was a bit disappointing to see the critical voices on this issue. If you are, supporting the classification, immediately people term you that it's benefiting the BJP. And this is very, you can say it's very stereotyping the things without understanding the history of the entire movement. And in fact, I wrote a very lengthy piece on it. In North India, there was absolutely a campaign as if the Supreme Court has eliminated reservation. Everywhere they say that our reservation is will go. It is Supreme Court has virtually eliminated it, and there was a competition among political leaders. So I felt actually, nobody has given a call earlier, this Bharat Bandh call. And it was without understanding the whole issue. Most of the people, most of the parties, not, it was just a few people on the social media who started, that this is because initially they were thinking that Supreme Court will not do the intervention in this. And they will allow like what Ishwaraya judgment has happened. And I want to congratulate because you were quoted by the Chief Justice. So it's also important, the voices must come because a large number of, our even Ambedkarite friends will say that, the people from Valmiki community or manual scavenging community or sanitation workers, they don't have the, capable people. This is how the whole, the same kind of argument which Dr. Ambedkar faced actually when he fought that whole issue of separate electorate and communal award was given and how the caste Hindus targeted him. Actually, today I was reading a tweet by my very dear friend Ramesh Bhangi, and who is a very good author, a very worked with central government for a long period. And he says in his 40 years life, he never faced that much of hatred even from the upper caste as he is facing today from the fellow who claim to be, the same communities or maybe Ambedkarite or Bahujan community. So this is the way of, the targeting thing. As far as the categorization is concerned, I can tell you that I started working with this communities in 1994-5. And I tell, when I started working with the girls, the Valmiki girls, the Swachhakar girls, basically the young boys and girls, who were aspiring actually for. And we had the first slogan, Jhadu Choro, Kalam Pakro. And that was the time when I was introducing, the computers in some villages for the young girls. You must learn computers, you must aspire for the higher education. That was the time the boys and girls, and we always said, this was our demand chart with many of my friends from the community who said that, we need 5% reservation. And this is, I'm telling you, way back in 2004-5, we started 5% reservation, at least in non-sanitation work. Why should there be 100% reservation in sanitation work, one community, and that community is not allowed? And this came in my mind actually when there was a friend from Jammu and Kashmir. And this guy was a Muslim a man from sanitation community, basically Vatals in Kashmir are the manual scavengers or sweepers. Now, there was a law in Kashmir that you won't get a job except for the sweeping, the sanitation work. And same thing happened for a person, a friend of mine in Ghazipur in UP. When this thing actually hurt me a lot. This guy's mother was a sweeper in the municipality. And he had done he has completed his law degree. So in between, in 94, his mother passed away. So he went to the chairman of the municipality and he applied for, that, I should get a job in place of my mother, in lieu of mother. The municipal corporation man actually asked him, yes, we will give you, but you can only do the work as a sweeper. He says, look, I have done a law degree. At least, I have some kind of a, respect. But they initially hated, but ultimately they gave him a job in clerical grade. And it was perhaps because that municipality has a Muslim chairperson, because the number of them were actually the Muslim community living in that nearby. So from there we raised actually, why shouldn't, the eligible people from this community get job elsewhere? So that was one of the things that, we should have, when we see UP and when we call about, the whole movement. I work with the most marginalized. I don't find Ambedkarism has reached there. It was people like us who went there and, educated, started, talking about Dr. Ambedkar and other things. Among these communities, the Mushars, the Valmikis, the Domes, the Basport, the bamboo workers, nobody goes there even at the political time. And when you will not go there, they have to assert themselves, they will go somewhere else. And that happens. So today what is happening? They are being blamed. They vote for BJP. They go to RSS. They don't support this, that kind of thing. So what, and this whole blame, like that, it has divided. I don't think, when we talk about unity of the Bahujans, or I think I always mention it that the term Bahujan, Dalit, all these terms are actually the modern terms. Ultimately, it is the jatis, different jatis, and every jati thinks they are superior, they are bigger. And it's again the same issue which I have been confronting a lot, that the minorities are not allowed. We don't like minorities at any level, whether it is the religious level, whether it is the caste level, and everywhere democratic pattern is basically the dominance of the dominant. And this democracy is dominance of the dominant. So this is the very reason that we have been actually asking, because I never found a Mushar community person, a police officer. I didn't find, even the Valmikis in Uttar Pradesh, in police, or in, say, somebody in Tehsildar, or the sub-district magistrate, even on the, the DM or at that level. And this has been like, it is nothing, I don't think every community aspire for it. When we put, role models for the community, like, when community see here, this man is from our community, like you are there, they feel proud. Oh, somebody is there. I tell you this thing, several years back, a young man actually approached me. He was through social media. I never knew about him. He would say, I like your writings, I like your work, doing among the Mushar community and the Sachkar community. And I said, what are you doing? He said, I am actually teaching at the Delhi University. And then he silently, he's talking, and he silently told me, look, I am a Mushar man. And I never told, even my Ambedkarite friends don't know that I belong to this community. Most of them know that I belong to the Chamar community. So, because the majoritarian viewpoint you have to go through all the time. And I say, why? He says, we have no voice at all, because I'm the only person from my community who has reached at this level here. And I said, look, for me, it's a very proud thing that you are here, at least from that community, which does not have even a kind of a local teacher or in the school. So I think every state, and I am telling this thing, why I support Supreme Court's thing that state have to decide, because at every state, the caste equations are different. And the entire entire narrative is actually being built up according to Uttar Pradesh. This is the whole thing. I have told it very back also, that the entire thing is because of the political war in Uttar Pradesh between the two dominating parties of the scheduled castes. So it's the BSP, and now there is a rival, Chandrasekhar Azad, who is growing up and speaking. So there is this, for the same vote, there is a crisis. And everywhere, the dominant, actually, it is dominant, like in Maharashtra, Prakash Ambedkar spoke, in Bihar, Chirag Paswan spoke in favor of it. And they also know it very well that the demand of these communities, every state, has been growing in the last 30, 40 years. If that was that easy, then the Mushars in Bihar would not have made a separate party. Because the Mushars, the Jitan Ram Maaji has his own party. There are various other political parties coming from different communities. And why these communities are not coming under one umbrella? Because no party, most of the parties which are claiming to be whether Sarvajan, Bahujan, anybody, they have their core constituencies caste-based. They can name themselves anything, whether it's Bhajpa, BJP, or Congress, or even Samajwadi, or RJD, or BSP. Their core constituencies are their particular castes. They dominate. They know it very well. So, in what is happening in the whole scheme of things, they take one caste and then another dominant caste, counter, and it's a political equation. So they're not bothered about the other oppressed communities. So the issue of human rights doesn't exist. It's just, the politics of the dominance and the narrative. Unfortunately, I always said it, and I was actually very disturbed. I cannot accept too much from the political class. But I was very disturbed to see these so-called intellectuals. And these intellectuals actually started talking as per the caste. Oh, you are speaking for BJP. Oh, this is not right. It's not a what they call charity, as if that people are not available. I said, I know many people, many young boys, girls who have completed PhDs, who have completed masters, and you will graduate in these communities also. So it's not that there are no available, eligible bachelors or eligible young man or woman in these communities. So that was the feeling that I have, and the way people have been abused and humiliated. They call people on their YouTube channels and fight with them. And this was very shocking for me, trying to be Arnab Goswamis everywhere, inviting people on their channel and then, banging them up. Oh, why are you supporting? Oh, you met Mohan Bhagwat, or you are with RSS, or you are this.
Sorry, could you tell me some incidents like that, and community-wise also?
This is actually, see, normally there are some YouTube channels who invited, like IP Shukla, what is the name of that person who was in the petitioner? Mr. Shukla, OP Shukla. And then Mr. Ramesh Bhangi, they were invited and they were virtually humiliated. And they were asked so many questions.
Which YouTube channel they were invited?
They were like, I think there are many Bahujan Dalit channels are going on there. So we
all
said,
Hindi channels.
Yeah, they are all Hindi channels, mostly Hindi channels. Mostly actually UP centric. Their entire edifice is basically based on the UP politics. So they dictate, they say, oh, the Chamars are 60%, Valmikis are 2%, they are 3%. No, I say it's not one state. In Punjab, the Valmikis are 40%. And the whole division started, 12.5% of the Punjab population. We always think, that they are always on the margin. It's not true. And that's why Gyani Jail Singh in 1975 actually initially started this, the bifurcation in this scheduled caste quota. And they were getting this reservation till 2006. And because of the 2004 Ishwaraya judgment, somebody filed a case. Now, if we are all, brothers and sisters, why should somebody bother about this thing? But somebody filed a case And then because the Iswariya judgment happened, this was outlawed by the court, and then it went off. Punjab government actually filed a case, and they were determined actually. Now you could call it a politics or whatever, but that is what politics is. Politics has to take care of the people. It can't ignore the people. So that's one thing. That's why in 2020 again the judgment came of Justice Arun Mishra, when they actually upheld, and they said that the judgment itself said that the sanitation workers or the manual scavenging communities are the lowest, and their condition is very bad, and they need to be part of the structure, the ruling structure. You can't leave them behind. And I think this was a very good judgment, despite our critique of Justice Arun Mishra's various judgment. But and after that, the 7 judges bench. So to say that this has happened all of a sudden is a wrong thing. Then another thing that has happened is that in entire North India, they made it a Valmiki versus Chamar issue, as if this is the Valmikis who went to the court. Actually, it is not the Valmikis who went to the court, because they were getting the reservation. So somebody went against them in Punjab case, Devinder Singh. And the other side of the story is, which people ignore, which North Indian people did not know, that is the Madiga community and its leader in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, who were actually fighting, who were given about subcategorization by Chandrababu Naidu. Then Mala Mahanadu went to the court. And then this Iswariya judgment came. So, and these people don't know who are Malas, Madigas. So we have to tell them that Madigas are the Charmakar. Obviously, Madigas are also, some of them are from the manual scavenging community also. So this whole thing is that, that everybody is conspiring against one community is the wrong thing. Why should somebody conspire? And why divide? If RSS is dividing, and I can say they will work as division, why don't you unite? My issue was not actually more about the judgment. My problem was that I didn't see any political leader speaking with a tone of reconciliation or conciliation. That look, they are our brother. We will look into it. We will take them along. This is not the language. Not a single leader has spoken like this. This has hurt me a lot. I can tell you this thing. I've seen all statement of the champions, social champions, social media influencers, political leaders, including BSP. In fact, Ms. Mayawati's statement has come very clearly that those who are supporting categorization will not be allowed to be in the party. So there is so much, no attempt to reach the community, no attempt. And the only thing that is happening in North India right now is trying to vilify the Valmikis, and which is absolutely wrong, I think. And somebody say that no, you put them in EWS. Somebody say they are all worshipping Valmikis. They didn't come with Baba Sahib Ambedkar. They did not join Ambedkarite movement. We have joined movement. That's why we are. Now these are the studies we need to actually. Also, these myths have to be broken many times. And I tell people that, Baba Sahib Ambedkar's, one of the most closest person was Mr. Bhagwan Das. And I'm very fortunate, I have associated with him for a long period, till he passed away. I was, very closely associated with him. And he was a I would say, encyclopedia of the Ambedkarite movement, of the caste hierarchies, of the caste system. And these people don't even know that there was a man called Bhagwan Das. They ignore, like even when Kansina was making BSP, there was Dina Bhana Valmiki, who was his associate. So it's not fair to blame the community all the time. And that, they're not coming to Dr. Ambedkar's, they are not, joining. They may not be voting. They may be voting to any party as per their things. Every community, every man, every person has a right. See what has happened, well. Initially, the same people, this whole first, the Dalit identity and outreach, everybody wanted. So they say, oh, the Muslims are our brothers, Christians are our brothers. Suddenly, when the Muslims started asking for the reservation or the Christians, the campaign started, they can't have. And that was also a very dirty campaign. Just 3-4 months back, if you have seen some of these, the social media things, they say, how can you get, Islam doesn't allow caste, Christianity doesn't allow, why did you convert? All those kind of a thing, coming from those same champions who were speaking that, oh, Dalit Muslim alliance would be there. How can Dalit Muslim alliance be there if you don't have the courage to say that yes, there are Muslim Dalits, there are Christian Dalits, we should embrace them, we should support them. So this entire thing have actually come around the job and the power structure. So we don't want to give anybody a say in power structure. We don't want to give even a 1% if that fellow come from us. And that reflects, that is Brahminism at best. That is nothing. So you just you can't say that it's something different. It's Ambedkarism. And I always tell Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was the best person who explained the Indian social system. In one line, I tell people that is the one thing that I always quote. No other historian or sociologist has done it. It's the graded inequality. And that graded inequality means ascending order of reverence and descending order of contempt. Even there is the institutional, the caste-based violence among these most marginalized. A lot of cases I gave how a Dome man recently, I posted a video some 2-3 weeks back, I think. That was a Mushar man actually not allowing a Dome to drink water from the same tap. I had other communities also. So this to say that there is no caste system once you are they are homogenized or homogeneous and everybody has the same kind of argument when they are saying that Dalits are untouchable and they are getting the reservation because of the untouchability. Internally, there is no untouchability. I think this is a wrong thing. There is an internal untouchability also. There are discrimination. And castes are always, segregated. They are in their bastis, their vadas, and efforts have not been made. It's just a political mobilization, and that's it. And that has been, being made kind of a beautiful narratives by the writers. So I always tell people that intellectual, if you are true intellectual, then you must stand even for a minority right. But intellectuals are now have become the mouth organ of their jatis and their parties. And they can't question the party leadership or the jati leadership. That's the unfortunate part. And I always feel like this is the saddest part. Even in Tamil Nadu, when we give example like the Arundhati community got 3% reservation in a separate quota in 18% for scheduled caste. That is resulting in, because I got some information, there are youngsters who are in medical colleges, in engineering colleges. We don't have in UP that much. UP is the worst example in that term. See, when we talk about reservation for scheduled caste is 17%. So he says 17% should be in the civil services. So there should be 17% in the in police offices, and they fill that. So in that 17%, where are the Mushars? Where are the Valmikis? They are not even 1%. They are not even 0.1%. So that is what my thing is, that and it is the duty, if they are not there, it's the duty of the state. And why Babasaheb put actually the directive principles? And that was one reason, because he said many of the communities may not fight their battle because of sheer numbers or because of the awareness, not that much. So state has to act on its own. The state did not act, but now the community is asking. It might not have been that educated in 1947, but it is now quite ahead. And that is where state need to bring laws, enact laws. And we can't say that this was not discussed in the Constituent Assembly and it was not there. The Constitution is made. There is a clause of amendments. So these are not the holy textbooks where you can't change things. we can change things according to the needs of the people and the community. I think that was the my simple observation about this. That as far as this concern, these most marginalized communities, it is their human rights, it is their basic rights, and we must defend it.